Yes, this is the main login page for the software. So here I have given the default username and password. This password is taken from the setup from the database. So the network connection for the software where the database is, and the username password is stored in a config file. So when you log in, according to the users, every user will have a user rights like ACL, so access permission, access control list. So each of these users have a list where they are given access. So since I logged in as admin, I have full access. But let's say if I log in as a different user, so when you are adding the user, you can search the employee and add the employee and give the username, password, and then give the permission to where the this user has access to in the software. So in this software, the main there are these are the main functions: sales, marketing, design, management, sampling, manufacturing planning, manufacturing procurements, inventory, distribution, maintenance, finance, human resource, and settings. So this was a project done by 8 members of the team. I was the project leader, and I did sales, marketing, and settings. So here in customer, you can add a new customer. Here all the IDs are auto generated using my own class, and so you can fill it, all are validated. So empty, customer name empty, text box, so like that. So here you can search the customer, view all details, you can click and all the data is loaded. You can edit, you can delete. So you can generate reports from 2 different ways. You can generate a report, all customer report, or you can search and filter out some customer. And then generate a report only having this customer. So here sales is there. Then when a customer comes and he wants a design inquiry, like he wants to pitch the idea of a new design, a shirt or something, and he wants to get a quotation or something, like get the design. So you can add the customer automatically, all the customer information. Then we just get a rough estimate of the amount, the quantity the customer is willing to buy. You can add a description if you want. And when the customer sales executive is talking with the customer, if he has a drone image, he can click and add it to here. So after that you can add it. This file will be added into the database as a blob file, and you can retrieve it from another department. So all this information will be stored in a remote database. So all the design inquiries has to be approved by a manager, so he can see all the stuff and approve. If it is approved, he can see the details of the approval. Here there is an image stored, so you get a preview of that image, and since I'm logging as admin, it shows the name as admin. You can approve and upgrade, up, update it. So when it comes to sales inquiry is like quotation. You can give a quotation to the customer. Search if already the customer is saved, you can get the customer. You can add products, so you can view all the products in your inventory, enter the quantity and add it like that. So the estimate date of purchase, and here we have to give a discount rate and press this. When we press the add button, we go to a separate panel. I'll show that in a later. So that's how it's like happening. So you can add inquiry. So sales invoice is there. So it's actually when the customer is purchasing, it's like the bill. So that's there, and sales payment is there, and sales return is there. In sales payment, like we'll say there is an invoice of somebody. So this invoice, the total amount was this amount, but he has made so many small 1,000 rupee payments, and now only 8,600 is remaining. So we'll pay another 1,000 cash, calculate the amount. So then the due amount will be this. You can add it to the database. So that will be so here sales, design, inquiry, and this two, and marketing, it's the same thing, but in this government they have two departments, so you need to do access control. So that's why there are two forms. So other than that, there is designing, right, creating a design, and cost estimation. You need to approve the cost estimate, so there is a approval form. Sample, creating a sample request, and cost sampling, again you need to approve. So you have cutting planning, sewing planning, all these main processes of the garment. So when you go to real manufacturing, to enter the wastages and all those stuff. So when we logged in as last time as admin, you could see that all the forms are accessible. Now when we log in as a different user, so see some of these are blocked for that user, so we can do access control. And there are other departments. These departments were not done by me, so I am going to skip them. So when we go to the coding stuff, so there is this config file. So in this config file, the port number, name of the database, username, all the stuff are there. So it will load it, and if the file is not available in the system, it will automatically generate the file needed. So here is the coding for that. So if the file is not there, sorry config file missing, create sorry config file missing, default file will be created with these settings. And if the file is there, you can, these two functions are to access the, to set the system config and to get system config. Actually this function was created, but it has not been implemented in the current system because our customer didn't really require that, so we just hard coded it. So the get system config is used in the login. So this is our login, and the main window is where the application runs. And here we have so many, here all the variables we have made it static so that we can optimize the memory usage. And somehow we managed to only have one this application will only make one connection when all the to the database when all the people are using. So here we get all these classes were built by me. So there are some special stuff to say about these classes. So this auto validate class is being used, it has made this job really very easy. Validations, there are so many text boxes. So for example, using this validation class, if you don't want to validate a text box, you just need this line. You put the text box, you say what whether to validate. So you to check is empty, length and type. So here true means check length check, 0 means no length limit, special character means you can put any input. So 1 is phone number, only numeric. So name only S or any alphabetic character, so only alphabetic input will be accepted. Maximum is 40, less than 40, that's why minus 40. True is empty, check is true, so you cannot leave an empty text box. So when we go to adding a new class, again I have used my auto SQL query class. So in that class there are different functions. So to add this, adding is adding, deleting, editing, those are few of the functions. And searching, there are many query functions, different stuff. But here in adding, you have a array, string array, you give the column name, the text which needs to add, and the database, and everything will be automatically a SQL query will be generated, and it will be run and added, and it will return a boolean value. So very easy, very nice, small. So in the model class there will be that, and in the customer class, so I'll show where the customer is showing the implementation. And so in the customer class, it will so in the customer class, in that button, it will be a nice small function. So it will look like this. So when inside the customer form, when you double click the customer button, add button, it will be looking like this, very neat and looking nice. It will pass it to the customer model class, and from there all the error messages like fail or pass, and here you generate the customer ID. For some reason, like when you successfully added a new ID is generated. So in the model class, it will look like something like this. So all the values are coming, you are building the SQL query and like that. So that's how it's implemented. So in validation class, which I was talking about earlier, so here's the validation class. So here the same thing what I explained, you can get the code from GitHub. So there is another email validation thing. So here is that class which generates automatic SQL queries. So it is an extent from AutoDB Connect, which is another class. This is the connection class actually. I have inherited that and that to this because sometimes you need to use this object you create from this class and need to access the parent methods, because sometimes you need to execute just SQL queries or basic simple SQL queries. So here you have all these methods to execute auto vwall. So you give the table name and all the results will come here selected. So give the table column names and table name, those results will only come. So search all, selected search, date range search, date search, auto add. This is where that earlier the customer got added. Editing, deleting, adding images. So I think it's not a good idea to add images to the database, but in this case we had to do that. So we use blob files, binary large object files. We converted it into binary and we put it in the database. So here is the method to get it and here is the method to put it. So to generate reports also I created a class, because since there are 8 members in our group, it's very easy when you use the classes, less errors. So to generate IDs I use this date and with the user ID special way, so all the IDs will be very unique all the time. So auto get that's another class which is used to load and get a file and do some small stuff to the file when you are getting images. So here's the connecting class. So in the connecting class you have different constructors, the default one and the others. With if you pass something with the default constructor, you can build a send the data and connect it, or after that you have to connect it, and after that there's a connection class. Executing and execute query are the only two functions in this class. So when we inherit this class to auto SQL class, you can use these methods and use these methods in those classes or any object created from that classes. So this is the basic most simple explanation of the system. So that's it.